In this tutorial, I will show how to model basic streetscape in 3ds Max. We will begin with creating a reference based on Google Maps. First, find an area to work with and screenshot the map. If you are on Windows, click on Clipping Tool to save the screenshot into a folder. The image will then be imported into 3ds Max for the next step. Open 3ds Max. Enter the top view by pressing T. Create a plane under Shape of the Grid tab and make it roughly the size of the image taken. Drag and drop the image from the folder onto the plane and the image should appear on the plane's surface. Resize the image so it does not look distorted. You can now start to draw lines to represent the roads on the map by using Line from Spline. Turn on snap settings as showed to create road connections like a T-junction and for creating the boundary. And there you have the basic skeleton of a street. Once all the road lines have been drawn, find Spline Offset from the modifier list to create the road width. Turn off Keep Original Spline. Turn on Double-sided Offset. Turn on Hue Intersecting Splines. Lastly, change the offset and type to open but. To create the land lots, which will be the areas where the buildings will be standing, we will need to do a shape Boolean. Shape Boolean is a spline-on-spline operation and cannot be intermixed with geometry. Make a copy of the ground and the road spline. The copied splines cannot be recovered and will be stuck as a Boolean, hence we make copies. Select the shape to be Boolean and under Compound Shape, press Shape Boolean and select the second spline to be Booleaned off. Change the Boolean operation to subtract and you should see that the roads have been subtracted away from the ground. Go to Edit Poly and the Boolean splines will be covered. Select all the faces of the land lots and extrude the geometry by a small amount. Unhide the original road layer and add in the Edit Poly function. Change the color of the roads and it should begin to look like a basic street pattern. To make the curb, clone the ground spline Boolean layer or land lots. Label it as curb. Delete Edit Poly function to remove the surface and then add Spline Offset. Adjust the distance to the standard curb size of about 15 cm. Bring in the Edit Poly function again and select all the faces. Extrude a small amount so that it is slightly higher than the road, but same as the ground level. Change the layer color to make it more recognizable. The last thing to add for the street are grass patches. Clone the ground spline boolean as a copy and label it as grass patch. Delete the edit poly to only show the splines. Align the grass patch splines to be at the same level as the landlords by matching the minimum Z position of the spline to the maximum Z position of the landlords. Select Spline Offset from the modifier list and adjust the distance accordingly. Bring in the Edit Poly function. Go back to Spline Offset and remove Keep Original Spline. Change the layer color to green to represent grass. Go back to Edit Poly. Manually select faces to delete. And there you have a basic streetscape with a small amount of greenery.